Have you ever wanted to calm a tense situation or bring comfort to someone who's really going through it, but you have no idea what to say? Well, today we're diving into a really fascinating technique that lets you do just that, all without saying a single word. Seriously, think about it. The last time you saw someone who was just completely overwhelmed, what was your first instinct? Probably to talk, right? To give advice, to try and fix it. But what if the most powerful thing you could do was to just be there? What if you could project a sense of calm without ever opening your mouth? So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we're going to get into the whole idea of being the calm in the storm. Then we'll define this technique called hands-off transfer mastery. After that, we'll break it down into 5 simple steps. We'll even look at a hospital field lab, a way to practice. And finally, we'll cover the most important part, the rule of invisibility. Okay, so first things first, let's get our heads around the core concept here. Think of your own emotional state like a tuning fork. When you're feeling calm and centered, you're basically vibrating at a certain frequency. This whole technique is about learning how to let that calm vibration just radiate outwards, to actually influence the people and the space around you. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? You stop trying to fight the other person's storm. Instead, you focus on becoming the lighthouse. You're not just finding calm, you become the calm. It's a huge shift in thinking, from actively trying to do something to simply being something. So how do we actually take this big idea and turn it into a skill, something we can actually learn and use? Well, that's where we get to the hands-off transfer technique. So what is it exactly? Well, it's a very intentional method for projecting that field of calm we were just talking about. And notice the key words here. It's hands-off, and it's from a short distance. That means it's not about talking, it's not about touching, it's completely non-physical and really respectful of the other person's space. What's really interesting is that the source material calls this your silent service weapon. And that's a powerful way to think about it. It's not a weapon for hurting, of course, but a tool for quiet, powerful support. Something you can use discreetly to help bring the temperature down in a tense situation. All right, so how do we actually do it? This is where we get down to the nuts and bolts. We're going to break it down into 5 really clear, simple steps that'll help you generate and project this field of calm. So here are the 5 steps, just at a glance. We start with your physical position. Then we use something called the coherence breath to build up our own calm. We visualize sending that calm out. We adopt the mindset of a neutral witness. And finally, we learn when and how to exit. Okay, let's dig into each one. Step 1, it's so simple. You just put yourself somewhere near the person in distress. About 3 to 6 feet away is perfect. And here's the key. You're not trying to engage with them. No eye contact, no conversation. You're just existing in their general area. That's it. Okay, step 2 is where you start building that inner calm. You begin a really simple rhythmic breathing pattern. Breathe in for 5 seconds and then breathe out for 5 seconds. This is called coherence breathing, and it's actually been shown to get your heart, your mind, and your emotions all in sync. This is the engine that creates that powerful, stable energy field you're about to project. Now that your breathing is steady, you move on to visualization. Just imagine a warm, gentle light coming from the center of your chest. And as you keep up that 5 and 5 breathing, just see that light expanding outwards, creating this kind of bubble of warmth that gently and respectfully surrounds the other person. Okay, now this might be the most important mental step of them all. Your mindset has to be that of a neutral witness. You are not there to fix their problem. You're not there to pity them or judge them for how they're feeling. Your only job is to be a pure, steady, stable presence. Think of yourself as an anchor in their storm, not a rescuer trying to pull them out. So how do you know when you're done? You just watch. You're looking for a physical sign of release, like a sudden, deep sigh, or you might see their shoulders just visibly drop and relax. That's your signal. When you see it, you know the transfer is complete. And then you do one last thing. Just brush your hands down your own torso. It's a symbolic gesture to kind of disconnect and clear away any residual energy. Okay, so we have the technique down in theory, but how do we actually practice it? Well, the source suggests this really interesting idea of a field lab in a hospital. This is where you can learn that really advanced skill of empathy, how to be with someone in their pain without actually absorbing it yourself. So, here's the mission if you choose to accept it. You go to a place where stress is naturally high, like a hospital waiting room. You find a family that looks worried or anxious, you find a seat nearby, and you just discreetly run through the 5 steps of the hands-off transfer. And this is where it gets really cool. This isn't just about wishful thinking. You can actually look for measurable results. Watch them closely. Do they stop fidgeting so much? Does their breathing, which might have been fast and shallow, start to slow down and get deeper? These are real, observable signs that you're helping their nervous system shift from stress to calm. We've covered the what and the how, but now we need to talk about the most critical piece of this entire practice, and that is the core ethical rule that you just can't break. The rule is simple and it is absolute. You never reveal that you are doing anything. You don't walk over afterwards and say, "Hey, feeling better? Yeah, that was me." That would completely defeat the entire purpose. The goal here is selfless service, not getting credit for it. And this quote just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. True service doesn't need a spotlight. It doesn't need a thank you. It's just offered freely and anonymously. The real power of this whole thing actually lies in its invisibility. And all of this leaves us with one final question to think about. In our world, which is so loud and so chaotic all the time, what is the true power of a silent, steady presence? It's something I'm definitely going to be thinking about, and I hope you will too. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.